I'm going to show you a little trick I like to use on my strings to help my guitar stay in tune better, and it really does work very well. In fact, I very often can tune my guitar at the beginning of the night, and maybe during the course of a 3 or 4 hour gig, tune a couple of times, maybe, and that'll be just one string or two. So it really does work really well, and we're going to take a look at that right now depending on my cinematography skills. This is my little work area here at my guitar school, and one of the greatest inventions ever, besides the peg winder, which of course we know is used to do this kind of thing right here, the greatest invention since sliced bread is the Dean Markley Turbo Tune, and it's because you can remove this part stick it into a drill, and then when you put this baby on here, it makes quick work of that whole removing the strings thing. There it is. So if I can get this over here so we can see the back end of this. Of course, I know that there are thousands of back plates for Stratocasters in the world that are not attached to guitars. I personally have one myself somewhere. I think the back plate to my Stratocaster is probably the same place my little guitar workbench pad is. Today I'm going to be installing some power slinkies. Now these strings actually do not have any more power than the other slinkies do, but they're a little bit heavier. The first string is going to be an 11, so it's going to go 11, 14, 18, 28, 38, 48. Okay, so here's my low E coming in, going through the guitar. And then what we'll do here is pass the string through. Now, what I generally do to measure this is I'm going to pull the string to where it's about where it ought to be laying when when the guitar's going. Of course, it's not nearly that tight, but it's about the same. It's laying down there pretty good. Then I grab a hold of the string where it's entering the tuner, and I pull it out about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, maybe 1 3/4 inches. And then you can go ahead and kind of kink it on this side if you want to, but if you give it a little kink right there, it kind of starts locking it on. Then of course you get the old Wismatron here, Turbo Tune by Dean Markley, and start tuning. Now you want to go around, you want to keep tension on the string, and you want to go around with the string going over the little tail sticking out the first time. See how I'm above it? And then the next time around, I want to go below it. And with that much string that I pulled out, I'm going to get, 2 wraps and maybe a little more. And the reason you want to do on the top first and work your way down towards the bottom is because you want to have as much tension on the nut as you can. You want to have as much pressure on the nut. So winding the string so it comes down the peg is going to give you your optimum performance. So give her a little stretch here. Okay, I don't really need to get it up to nearly pitch. I'm just getting them on here. Okay, here we go. Now, if I can avoid getting in the light, I know the light is kind of harsh because I have basically one real light source and then just a lamp. So hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do here. Alright, I'll start off by getting the holes lined up so it's basically coming straight off of here. And then I'm going to stick this string through this tuner. And as I did before, I will pull the string till it's, kind kind of laying in the guitar about like it should. Not, you know, if it's laying in the nut, great. If it's off a little bit, that's okay too. Basically, I'm just wanting to, you know, get it close. Then I reach up here behind the peg and I grab a hold of the string and I pull it out about 1.5 inches. Okay, now here's where the cool part comes in, and this is the tricky part. And we're going to do this 5 times, and I'm going to try to do a drawing of it also, so that you can see it better. But what I'm going to do is once I've measured my lead out of the tuner, then I'm going to take the tail part here, and I'm going to start off by making a little kink inward, and then I'm going to pass that tail underneath the string, and once I've made that little kink initially, I can kind of get some tension on the string back here, as you see with my right hand. Let me scoot up just a little bit here so you can see it. I'm keeping tension with my right hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the tail part nice and tight, and then I'm going to make a V shape with that tail by wrapping it around the string, and wrapping it around the string in the direction that it was coming from here. Now, as is obvious from looking at this, I have not even put one single wrap on this guitar. However, I can grab a hold of this string right here and pick up the guitar with no fear of it falling off, because that baby is locked on there. Now the V that I have created with the tail of the string is now going to serve as a spot to make my kink for my string leading off of the, or leading its way around the tuner. Now I can't go over the tail at all this time, but what I will do is I will immediately make sure my first wind is below the tail, and then keep that thing going so that again the string is winding down towards the bottom of the tuner and creating more pressure on the nut and doing all the stuff it's supposed to be doing. Okay, so now I've got that guy right there. So I'm going to repeat that process a few times, and I might try to get another camera angle. Let's see how that works. Let's see what we can do about that.